and welcome to my video. In today's topic, I wanted to say and discuss if I was to give an award for the best campaign of 2024, why it would go to the World Health Organization's Future Mental Health campaign. And this is why, because as a creative, embracing creativity and self-expression through mental health initiatives can help reshape the way we approach problem solving in STEM and in society. Creativity unlocks things. It provides us with breakthroughs and insights into our inner world, into who we are as humans. It gives us the ability to develop empathy, which is such an important skill, and it's something that we need to develop. And it helps with innovation. It helps us to become innovative, to get through those blocks and challenges and develop resilience, which is the mental health impact, because it helps teach us emotional processing, and it provides us with holistic solutions to problems which are not always dealt with other than through high levels of medication and stuff that doesn't really solve the problem, the intrinsic problem, or the disconnect, or the unattachment. And STEM has blind spots. It has analytical bias. There's a lack of emotional intelligence in STEM, because it works within a scientific framework, and we are spiritual people. Our life is a spiritual journey. And I found more and more, I don't know how about you, that in the day-to-day grind, you sort of switch off a little bit to it because it's so repetitive, a lot of tasks that we are told need to be sustained and don't bring anything new or fulfilling. So we play life as a spiritual game. When we start to feel ourselves bored or disconnecting with things, that I always look for the spiritual, what is the lesson in this? How can I reshape this? How can I bring more joy to my life? Now, if we're going to dive a bit deeper, STEM professionals often operate within rigid frameworks. It limits their ability to connect emotionally and think outside the box. Creativity and self-expression enable holistic problem solving by integrating emotional intelligence and empathy. So STEM rigidity has a logic-only mindset. It's disconnected from emotions. The frameworks in mental health assessments call grief a natural process, an illness. We are not allowed to feel our emotions, to explore our emotions, to understand our emotions, and we can only do that through experiencing them, not by medicating them and blocking them and suppressing them and all those other things that tend to happen within the mental health framework. And there are creative benefits, the introspection, the fresh perspectives, and this balanced solutions, a way of autonomizing, is that a word? Autonomy is that self-regulating, ways that when we can't find the route through our childhood and our learning phase, our development phase of life, then we have to look for ways of realigning our systems, our nervous systems, our biochemical systems, our neurological systems, and all those systems. So eventually it can be all systems go. The societal gain is we become more relatable, human-centric innovations. We connect, we have more meaningful conversations, we feel we are part of something greater than just the I or the me. So why is self-awareness critical for effective problem solving in STEM and society? Well, it gives us emotional clarity, a burnout prevention, team harmony, and adaptive thinking. These are all great tools to have. And that's a STEM word, but we just would call it social interaction, socializing, social life, having meaningful experiences, creating memories, having an experience that tells us it's not something we have to be numbing or, detaching from, or, really experiencing life to the full. And how creative outlets can improve mental health and societal progress. Well, emotional release, narrative power, collective harmony and healing, and resilience building. This life thing, this journey, this life, it's not easy. We're talking about economics and politics and financial things and all these health things, and yet we could just be and experience it and understand that we're humans having a human experience. That is what art teaches us. So, what makes the Who's campaign stand out as a catalyst for us, this shift? Well, human stories. It demonstrated how asking people who have experience of mental health issues or an understanding of mental health issues, and the thing they said they wanted the most was peer support and better psychological support. Basically, in my own understanding, if we have a system, a paradigm, and we're creating effort and action out of that system and paradigm, and it's not working for us, that although the environment may need changing, there is still a cause and effect, a habit and response, a trigger and response, and we need to change those things, and we can only change them through our emotions. And anger is a key emotional trait to understand. Anger can be processed so differently without understanding. It blocks us so much. Forgiveness and moving forward and inclusivity, the global impact, and art in advocacy are all those things. And rather than separating the two out, saying, art's over there and science is over there and never the twain shall meet, I think we have to have a more inclusive understanding instead of locking people away or putting them in boxes and saying this is where you have to stay, you can't cross over. Life is so rich and we are so full of so many wonderful experiences, and the appreciation of that is so important. So, what challenges prevent STEM carers from embracing creative practices? Let's discuss. There seems to be a cultural stigma, an undervaluing of creativity. There's time constraints, lack of training, lack of insight. We are so afraid of being a person, of being people, that we have to put up these frameworks, these constraints, these regulations into how we are. I'm not talking about laws. I'm not talking about the way we behave in civil society. I'm actually saying that instead of embracing the civility of society, we are causing more situations and more obstacles. So how can emotional intelligence reshape the way society tackles global problems like mental health? If we had empathy-driven policies, change would be phenomenal. We could have better communication, or just communicate. We have deeper connections, less fear, and more sustainable solutions, rather than a one thing fixes it, but it doesn't really fix it. It doesn't get to the heart of the issue. And that's what art does. So who has the World Health Organization's campaign resonated so deeply with audiences worldwide? Why? Well, it's a relatability concept. There are universal themes in their campaign, there's accessible language, and the visual storytelling is just person stories. It's real people. And we are so behind things, behind a computer, behind the wheel of a car, behind a desk, behind playing catch up. And expanding our perspectives, we can talk about emotional vulnerability, shared experience, compassion in solutions, and the practical benefits of having actionable tools, workshops, discussions, interdisciplinary methods, and cross-sector impact. This is why if we go to see a movie and we don't talk about it, we don't learn. And having this group setting, we're too afraid of art. That's the trouble. Where we can talk about it, the latest thing, the conversation about why it's so important and topical in society. What are the Renaissance innovators? How can art and science have a synergy and storytelling legacy? Well, I think that by creating forums and having discussions and connection, we can change the world, and we can bring these stories that are so relevant today, and why it's so important to keep being contemporary and current and innovating and writing and producing and supporting artists who are doing this work. This is why it's so important. Although AI may have a place, I'm not sure if we'll be having programs where AI corrects our behavioral patterns and habits and all those sorts of things, or whether it stimulates discussions and having an interdisciplinary education at school and post-school. I don't know about you, but I think there's a use it or lose it policy, and things need updating, upgrading all the time in any industry, in any career, in any life skill. But having mental health as a core STEM skill only, there's a bit of bias there. So, what if society's greatest challenges could only be solved by blending science and art? Imagine having innovation hubs, art-led solutions, integrated curriculum with science and art. Transformative impact. And what if fostering creativity became prioritized in STEM as logic and analytics, and we could give them equal weight? There could be emotional intelligence labs, creative incentives, role modeling. It would just improve industries everywhere. This is why creativity is such an important skill. So, having creativity in STEM would provide problem-solving, multipliers, emotion-backed decisions, interdisciplinary advantages. So, what are the WHO, World Health Organization campaign takeaways? Visibility. They did a phenomenal campaign. It was all over social media. There was emotional resonance, real people speaking about the future, advocacy as art. So we're not stagnating, we're moving forward. There's a feeling of progress. And the mental health gains would be reduced stigma, empowering narratives, and accessible creativity. Having creativity unboxed, we would be talking about life again, and rather than staying stuck in the same old stuckness and problems. That is incredible. Having mental health impact. Impact means change, means power and passion and infinite possibilities. We all like choice and variety. And societal problems solved? Imagine that. World peace. The ultimate expression of love and joy. I hope that you get to share a part of the creativity and don't feel like it's something you can't explore. Don't be afraid to explore art. It is an expression of yourself, your fundamental nature and intrinsic freedom that you get to enjoy. I wish for you that your creative practice is inspired by this video, by this concept, by this future wish for us all to be better people, to just be better at being people, to be better at being human. We're too busy studying other things, other entities. Know thyself. Do you feel there is a way for mental health and creativity to connect? So glad to inspire you with this video, and I'd like you to feel that my content is creating a place for you to explore expression. I'm very fortunate to be in an industry, but like us all, I have to fight for my expression, for my ability to produce what I feel will be great art and will impact society. So do me the greatest honour, like, subscribe and share this content. Have a wonderful 2025. This is Evelyn Vanilla, wishing you a happy new year.